besties, it is Kara. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. So today's video we are going to be doing another sit down video. To be honest, this week I was supposed to post a reading vlog, but like the reading slump that I'm in right now is actually like insane. I don't think I've ever had one this bad. Sorry in advance for the lighting. It is going in and out, so I might be like sunny and gorgeous right now, but in about 5 seconds it could be not like that. So today's video I'm going to be talking about all of the books that I've given 5 stars to this year so far. You're probably like, oh Kara, that means that you're really just popping them out left and right. No, I have given 4 books so far this year 5 stars. I've read 57 books and I've given 4 5 stars. I feel like that's crazy. I've given a lot of books like 4.5 stars and 4.75 out of 5 stars, so I'm gonna be doing some honorable mentions as well, kind of telling you why they weren't quite 5 stars for me. Make sure to follow all my socials down below, along with goodreads, my Amazon watch list, stuff like that is linked down there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, subscribe, and with me. And let's just get right into it. Okay, I'm going to start off. I'm just going to talk about all the books that I've given 5 stars, and then we'll throw in my honorable mentions. Going in kind of order of what I've given books 5 stars. First 2, I actually read back to back. And the first book I gave 5 stars this year was The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. Just simply perfection. I specifically love just like Garrett Graham and Hannah. I love The Deal. I love that book like so much, and getting to read about Garrett and Hannah Graham's child is just, it's so amazing. It was so good. Ate this up. So this is the first book in the Off-Campus Diaries. I could be lying. And basically it's about Gigi Graham. She plays hockey. Basically it's her romance with a hockey player, and he's like looking for like a summer like job or position at like a camp or something, and Garrett Graham is the one that's running it, so she kind of like talks him up so that he can get a job. This book was like long, but like every second was needed. I'm pretty sure I read this in a video too, so like in-depth thoughts. Definitely go watch that video. But yeah, just the found family is so good. You get glimpses of the off-campus characters. I love their dynamic. I love the slower burn. I love that they kind of just helped each other out in both senses of the ways. I love that she was also a hockey player, so they got to like skate together. Spicy, but like also just fun, some emotional depth to it. I still occasionally honestly think about these characters. I do. I loved it. I just love Off Campus. I think that's what it is. And then the book I read directly after finishing The Graham Effect, also gave 5 stars. I don't know what was happening. I don't think I've ever personally had like a back-to-back 5 stars, so that was like crazy of me. And it was Love Unwritten, which I feel like is kind of a hot take because a lot of people like didn't like this book. It was kind of like 50-50 of whether or not people liked it or did not like it, and I just remember loving it. I don't know what it was. It might have been the 2 main characters' dynamics, but basically all I remember about this one is Ellie has to like nanny this guy named Raphael, and he's just like very grumpy, and he like fires her too, like the first like 100 pages, and then has to like grovel and like rehire her back. It was just very nice to see these characters' dynamic. I feel like Ellie, she very much just like challenged Raphael, made him like stop and think that there like is just a lot more to life, if you know what I mean. Like he's dealing with a lot being the single dad, and his son has this like condition. I don't remember like what it is. I think it's like an eye condition. I just feel like she helped both of them, the kid and then Raphael, with just all his personal problems, and just made him like really like wake up. She kind of like humbled him. It was super long, but like I ate it up. That's the thing about Lauren Asher books, is that I can just finish them like really quickly. Like they're very fast paced, very like bingeable, digestible. I don't know. I can't explain why I give it 5 stars, but like it was one of those like in the moments, like after I finished, I was like, yeah, best thing I've ever read. And I like looking back, I'm like, was it really? The nanny trope with a single dad just eats every time. Probably like one of the easier 5 stars I've given. Not easier, but like the most lenient one, if that makes any sense. And then next up is a fantasy. I find it very hard for me personally to give a fantasy 5 stars. Like it's gotta hit every box. I don't know what it is. I just feel like the balance between the romance and the fantasy, or like one more than the other, it's just like really hard for me to really love a fantasy. But like this one, so worth the hype. So worth the hype. I forgot to mention it in my last video of book talk books that are like really hype that I recommend. I finished the video and I was like, how could I forget my baby? And it's Quicksilver by Kelly Hart. This is the first book in the, I can't remember what it's called, I suck. Second book is coming out the second half of the year actually. This is a romantasy. It's long, it's so good. Basically it's about this woman named Saris, and I think she like picks up this magical sword that nobody has been able to like touch or like take out in so long. It wakes up this guy guy named Kingfisher. They're just kind of figuring out like why she was able to pick up the sword, the after effects of her being able to do that, if that makes any sense. I loved the romance. I loved the dynamic between Saris and Kingfisher. Like the magical system was just like something I've never ever read like before. It's named Quicksilver because there is this like, I don't even know how to explain it. It's just like this element that is a thing. It's fated mates, it's enemies to lovers, it's a slow burn, it's like epic fantasy elements, twists and turns. It's just like everything that I like in a fantasy book. And yeah, it's long. It took me a little while to get through, but I was not really bored at all through those 600 pages. There might have been like a little bit where I was like, it was a little slow. Do give it a try. I do recommend, obviously. Last but not least, my most recent 5-star last month, maybe 2 months ago now, Wild and Wrangled. I have probably talked about this book in every video, honestly, since I gave it 5 stars and since I've read it, and rightfully so. Love this series. I love this book. I'm so sad it's over though, but at least we ended on a really, really good note. Rebel Blue Ranch series. This is about Cam and Dusty, and what surprised me the most is this book is a second chance romance. I feel like now I can confidently say that I do not like second chance. I don't, unless it's done like to a T a certain way. And my standard of how I like second chance is exactly this book. Basically, when Cam was younger, she moved to this small town and Dusty was like her first like friend, and they became best friends, and then they had a little bit of a romance, then ended up having a little bit of a fallout, and now Cam is kind of like moving back to this small town. There's forced proximity of the small town. There is just like all those old feelings and coming back together. There's flashback scenes, which I love. It adds to the emotional depth. What I find in second chance romances is they go back into the intimacy and the feelings and the attraction like very, very fast. Like I know they have history, but like for me, it's gotta feel real. The way it does that is with learning how they fell in love in the first place, them not being intimate for a long time, at least like halfway into the book I would even take. Really didn't kiss or do like anything intimate, and it was just like the ultimate slow burn. The tension was so good, the banter was so good, like it was just the best thing I've ever like read in my life. It was so good. I just truly loved every moment of this book and these characters and just like everything. Like you can tell how much love that they had for each other, but they had so much to work through in the present like timeline to just work out the past and learn how to be with each other like now and how their lives are now. And just think about this book, these characters so often. Every time I read a second chance, I'm like, it's not like Wild and Wrangled, I don't want it. Now we're going to just quickly get into my honorable mentions. I'm just gonna like say what I rated them and then kind of like why they weren't 5 stars, just so I can be like really quick. First one, Empire of Storms. I did the tandem read, so I read this alongside Tower of Dawn, and this book was just incredible. I will say I do think I like the characters that this followed just a lot more than Tower of Dawn, and the only reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because I didn't like read it all at once. Just picked up this book first and read it front to back. I would have given it 5 stars, but because I had to put it down and read Tower of Dawn, like wasn't a 5 star. I don't know. Right, next up, I'll start by Elsa Silver. I gave this one 4.5 out of 5 stars, and in my Goodreads, I said the first half was definitely very strong, and I do remember it being a lot stronger than the second half. I remember myself enjoying the first half a lot more. I feel like it was more interesting. But then once we got to the second half, like I do remember the characters having to like figure out each other's lives and how they would fit in each other's lives, but it just felt like a very extensive third act conflict. All right, next up we have Fragile Sanctuary by Catherine Cowles. This is the first book in Spiral Falls series. I give this 4.5 out of 5 stars, and I just think it was the first kind of romantic suspense like that I've read in a little while. I really did enjoy it. I liked both characters. I liked that it was like grumpy kind of sunshine. I just remember the mystery being good. Writing was very fast, quick, digestible, bingeable. Next up, Funny Story by Emily Henry. Also gave this 4.5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed this. Like overall, I liked the plot. I liked the characters, their dynamic, but I think it was like maybe like the middle-ish. It just focused more on like the spice, that kind of aspect, or like the intimacy more than just like the characters and the romance and like plot and all that. So that's honestly the only reason I didn't give this a higher rating. Next up, Glow of the Everflame. This is the second book in the Kindred Cursed series, I think it is. I'm really enjoying this series. It's a fantasy romance series. Great yearning, great plot, great writing. But give this 4.75 out of 5 stars, which like at that point you're probably like, here, I'll just give it 5 stars. But it was so close. Yes, I have a whole Goodreads review that I wrote, basically to sum it up. There's just like something about Diane's character, the female main character. I just feel like her decisions are just so like dumb, and I feel like she's so stupid and like gullible, and I don't know if that's how she's supposed to be, but like some of the decisions, I'm like, girl, like what are you doing? That's like my only like thing. I'm like, I feel like she's pretty like gullible, and at some point plot was kind of slow. I mean, it is a long book. Next up, this one technically, I don't know if it really counts, but I did want to give it like an honorable mention moment, because it's kind of like a series, but I gave the series overall, because I rated overall a 4.5, and it's the Mind F series by SD Abbey. So I didn't rate the individual books because they're all like 120 to like 170 pages. It was definitely different. I've never read like anything like this before, like the serial killer and FBI agent kind of dynamic. My only like things were like, it was definitely like more smutty than I thought, definitely more glory, which is just kind of like a personal thing. Like I just don't like reading about all that kind of stuff. I read these books like back to back to back, like I read all 5 in a row, and I feel like the end of the 3rd, maybe like the 4th book were just kind of like slow. I just overall didn't have a good time. And then last but not least, our last honorable mention of this video is Wild Side by Elsie Silver. I love Elsie Silver, what can I say? And I gave it 4.5 out of 5 stars. I don't know if I mentioned that. I really liked this one. My favorite still is Wild Eyes, the 2nd book. I gave that 5 stars, but I read that last year. But there were just like some things again missing in this book. It was very heavy on the instant attraction, which I didn't love, but it still kind of was like a slower burn for like the intimacy. I don't know, I just feel like I wish we got more scenes with Tabitha and Reese. I feel like the middle part of the book like was kind of just like thrown in there to have like content, I guess. Even just scenes with Tabitha, and I think the child's name is Milo or Miles, but we didn't get a lot of scenes with him and Reese or him and Tabitha. So I feel like that was kind of the whole thing, was to get this marriage of convenience to be able to take guardianship and have a stable home for the child, but we didn't get a lot with the child. So I was kind of confused on where that kind of fizzled out. Overall, I liked the writing. I liked Reese, the male main character. I feel like both characters helped each other out with their problems and their trauma and all that. Just some things missing, just very particular about my 5 star. Like this, I feel like is a good example. Like it was so good. I read it so fast and I really enjoyed it, but there were just some things that just didn't hit for me. Alrighty besties, so I hope you guys enjoyed. I tried to switch up the video just like a little bit. I was trying to just think of ideas to do while I'm in this reading slump, because I feel like reading vlogs are just pointless because I'm just sitting here, I'm reading slow. I'm like, am I enjoying this? Am I not? So I thought I'd talk about all my 5 stars, all my favorite books, and if you have similar tastes to me and you have not read any of the books that I've given 5 stars to, that you can now give them a shot. Sure to follow all my socials down below, along with Goodreads, my Amazon, just like that is linked down there if you want to check it out. Like, comment, and subscribe, reviews by me. And I'll see you guys next week for what I believe is my September TBR. That's like crazy, guys. Like, oh my god, this year's flying by. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!